Welcome to today's explainer. Right off the bat, I want you to just settle in with me for a few minutes. All those loud thoughts crowding your mind, they can wait out in the hallway for a bit. Today, we're unpacking a paradigm shift from our source material that is honestly incredibly profound. It's all about spiritual and emotional renewal. So I want to gently invite you to completely set aside that mental ledger you've been carrying around, that running, exhausting tally of unresolved worries, uncertainties, and unanswered prayers. Just lean in, zero agenda, and let's explore this together.
So let's just dive right in. Ask yourself this. What if you aren't at the end of a drought, but actually at the beginning of a rain? I mean, that is a massive shift in perspective, right? The text we're breaking down today sets this incredibly calm, reassuring tone to remind you that you haven't been forgotten. If you've been bracing yourself, just desperately waiting for a single drop of relief, you might actually be looking at the sky all wrong.
Section 1. Setting down the ledger. Escaping the weight.
Look, to really get this, we've got to address that heavy mental tally. You've been waiting on a yes that just hasn't shown up yet. You've been carrying this weight around, constantly updating it in the back of your mind. But before we can even begin to understand the abundance that's arriving, we have to physically and mentally make space to receive it. So right now, wherever you are, I want you to take a deliberate pause with me. Breathe in, nice and slow. Just ground yourself in the room you're sitting in right now. And breathe out. Really notice your shoulders right now. Go ahead and let them drop just a ½ inch. The source makes this beautiful observation. Your shoulders have been hovering way up near your ears for so long, literally bracing for impact, that your body has almost forgotten that a lower, relaxed position is even available. So just release that tension. Okay, and now, mentally set that ledger down. The news we're exploring today, it isn't the kind of news that gets shouted from the rooftops with a megaphone. As the text so beautifully illustrates, it's the kind of thing that has to be whispered. It has to be said in your hands with extreme care, almost like you're holding a small, fragile, living thing.
Moving on to Section 2. A climate change shifting the rules.
The world basically trains us to think like a giant vending machine. It's one prayer in, one answer out. One specific job, one specific healing. It's a highly transactional mindset. But our source argues something radically different. Grace moves more like the weather. Think about it. Weather doesn't arrive as a single solitary drop of water. It arrives as an entire season. What is coming your way isn't just one isolated answer. It is a literal climate change in your favor. There's this fantastic quote from our source that hits the nail on the head. An answer is an event. An orchestration is an architecture. Wow, right? While you might have been sitting there quietly begging for a single event to happen, a complex, incredibly supportive architecture was quietly being built all around you behind the scenes. This completely, absolutely reframes how we view those unanswered prayers. So let's break down what that architecture actually looks like. A singular request is hyper-focused on just opening one door. But an orchestrated sequence? That means the first thing you receive definitely won't be the last. Every single arriving blessing acts as a hinge. One door opens, which completely sets up the next one, unlocking a door you didn't even know existed because, well, it was hidden behind the first one the whole time.
All right, Section 3. Preparation over waiting, the invisible work.
Listen, if you've been stuck in the waiting room, eating meals alone, sitting through holidays that just felt totally off or painful, you have to distinguish between slowness and thoroughness. Slowness merely postpones things, but thoroughness prepares. You might have looked at the map in your head and thought, man, there is a massive delay here. But that perceived delay wasn't the universe withholding goodness from you. Not at all. It was thorough preparation. It was arranging the exact right people, the perfect timing, and the specific rooms, ensuring that you could actually handle the weight of what is coming.
I absolutely love this line. It says, waiting is invisible work, where the calluses form on the inside, on the soul. Actually, scratch that. Let me repeat it because it's so crucial. Calluses form on the inside, on the soul. Waiting is not just sitting around doing nothing. It is deeply validating, invisible work. It was toughening your soul in the exact places that are going to need to hold weight so you could host a literal flood of blessings without drowning in it.
So, why the pause? Well, the text lays out 4 huge reasons why it was absolutely necessary. Number 1, it builds the muscle you need to actually host abundance. 2, it prevents the blessing from becoming your entire identity. Think about it. If you get everything before you're ready, a tiny shift in circumstances will cause you to totally collapse. 3, it teaches you to recognize the subtle handwriting of grace through practice runs. And 4, it refines your eyes.
The version of you from 3 years ago, come on, you probably would have wasted these brand new open doors on completely the wrong rooms and the wrong audience. You're so much wiser now.
Which brings us to Section 4, recognizing the quiet miracles, the inner weather.
Here's the thing. You cannot afford to miss these incoming miracles just because you're out there scanning the horizon for massive fireworks. A lot of the time, they show up as highly specific, everyday little things. It's a loosened knot in your chest before your feet even hit the floor in the morning. It's a random 5-minute conversation on a street corner that completely shifts your perspective. A perfectly timed text message, an unexplained wave of peace while you're literally just washing a dish, or sudden, genuine laughter returning after months. The text notes that healing happens in regions, sort of like a country. It often starts at the older outer edges and slowly moves inward. Don't dismiss these inner weather events just because they aren't flashy enough to photograph.
Section 5, the rules of receiving, navigating the new season.
Okay, so how do we actually build the muscle to receive all this? There are 3 really specific practices here. First, when a small good thing arrives, pause for 30 extra seconds. Stop hurrying past your blessings just to get to your next worry. Let your nervous system actually recognize that the room is safe now. Second, when doubt inevitably sneaks back in, because let's face it, doubt is super loyal to those old rooms it grew up in, don't argue with it. Speak to it gently, like you would a tired child, and just keep walking. And third, we have to entirely reframe envy.
And on that third practice, please keep this in mind. Comparison is the thief that breaks into your house through a window of envy. Envy is really just a false alarm. It's a signal that you're afraid the supply of good things is finite. But the source completely assures us that the supply is absolutely not finite. Someone else getting a blessing isn't a withdrawal from your personal bank account, it is simply a preview. It's living proof that the giver is actively giving, right there in your neighborhood.
Finally, Section 6, a posture of openness, the chain reaction.
We really need to prepare ourselves, both physically and mentally, for this cascade of changes that's about to unfold. In fact, do me a quick favor right now. Just place your hands palm up on your lap. Really, try it. The text explains that this physical gesture matters so much because the body teaches the soul. Taking a physical posture of receiving actually signals to your soul that it is safe to stop apologizing for wanting things, and it's finally safe to just receive.
So with your hands open like that, think about how this chain reaction plays out. The first answer triggers the second. Then the second triggers the third. The third opens up some wild possibility you didn't even know you should be asking for. By the end of it, retrospective wisdom reveals this incredibly beautiful pattern. But here is the absolute kicker. Do not grip that first miracle so tightly that your hands aren't free to catch the next one. Seriously, set it down. That first miracle is steady. It's not running away from you.
Because at the end of the day, the mathematics of grace is not the mathematics of fairness. Grace tilts toward you. Let that sink in. This impending rain, this incredible inheritance of blessings, it isn't contingent on you putting on a perfect performance. You don't have to earn it. And guess what? You can't unearn it either. It is simply an unearned gift, given to you out of constant, unwavering love.
So, I'll leave you with this. Are you ready to receive what is already arriving? Those tiny seeds planted in your dry soil years and years ago are finally beginning to drink. The rain has started. Trust the steady rhythm of this new season. Don't rush it. Move at the pace of trust rather than the pace of fear, and just walk gently into your brand new chapter. Think on that, keep those palms open, and I will catch you in the next explainer.